He captured Maduro, dragged him back to the United States, and now US President Donald Trump is eyeing Venezuelan oil. In a post on Truth Social, Venezuela's interim government will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of. He said that the sanctions Venezuela. From Venezuela to the Arctic ice, the map is changing, and Donald Trump seems to be hell-bent on changing the map. What began as a raid in Venezuela is now echoing across the globe, raising a question many thought belonged to the past. Is the United States entering a new age of expansion? Donald Trump calls it security, critics call it something else entirely. So is Trump the king colonizer? Here's a deep dive.
It's not just about Venezuela anymore, or about Greenland. What we are watching is a pattern, a cycle of force, pressure, and territory control. Donald Trump says this is security, while critics say it looks a lot like old-school power politics. What is driving the President of the United States, and can anyone stop him? The moment US forces seized Venezuela's president, something shifted. Nicolas Maduro was captured in Caracas and flown to the United States to face criminal charges. No UN mandate or congressional approval. Trump called it law enforcement, while much of the world called it an invasion. For many allies and rivals alike, this was the moment the guardrails came off. Legal experts say the Venezuela operation broke both international and domestic law. The UN Charter bans force against another country's sovereignty. US law requires Congress to approve war. None of that happened. Trump acted alone and openly defended it. For critics, this was a test of whether checks still matter. Trump has made his thinking clear. He wants the United States dominant in its hemisphere. Latin America first, Europe later. His administration's own strategy papers talk about reasserting control in the Western Hemisphere. The Monroe Doctrine, rebranded for the 21st century. Supporters call it strength, while others call it coercion. Greenland used to sound like a joke. It no longer does. The White House now says acquiring Greenland is a national security priority, and it says military force is an option. Officials confirm active discussions inside the Oval Office. Buying the island, special agreements, even coercion. After Venezuela, Europe stopped laughing. Greenland sits at the heart of the Arctic. Strategic shipping lanes, military surveillance, and untapped minerals. As the ice melts, competition grows. Russia and China are already active in the region. Trump says the US needs Greenland to deter rivals. Denmark says the island already sits under NATO protection. Greenlanders say their future is not Washington's to decide. This is where it gets dangerous. Greenland is part of Denmark. Denmark is a NATO ally. If the US moved on Greenland by force, NATO would face an impossible question. Can an alliance survive if one member threatens another? European leaders issued statements supporting Danish sovereignty, but they stopped short of confronting Washington directly. Behind closed doors, the fear is clear. Europe depends on the US, and Trump knows it. Opposition isn't coming only from diplomats. Pop star Björk called Trump a cruel colonizer. She warned that Greenland could be punished from one colonial power to another. Her words struck a nerve across the Arctic and beyond. At home, Trump's base is split. Many supporters cheered the Venezuela raid. They saw strength and a dictator removed. Others are uneasy. Trump ran against endless wars, and now he is hinting at more. Some lawmakers are trying. A resolution has been introduced to block funding for any military action against Greenland. Democrats warn this is no longer hypothetical. They say Trump is serious. Even some Republicans are uneasy. They back a stronger Arctic presence, not an invasion. The question is whether Congress has the will to push back. The courts have mostly sided with Trump. Challenges have piled up. Most have failed. There was one major ruling limiting his power, but it stands alone. Legal scholars warn that if Congress and courts hesitate, the presidency becomes unchecked. Stopping Trump does not hinge on one law or one ruling. It depends on institutions holding their ground. Congress asserting authority, allies speaking with one voice. Voters deciding what kind of power they accept. Venezuela showed what Trump is willing to do.